36, probably the best thing to do is just to substitute in some values and see which ones we can eliminate. So I would just start off on answer choice A by substituting in some numbers which are even. And note here, it is a really bad idea to use numbers like 0 or 1 and probably even 2, because those numbers have certain properties that they just make them bad to work with. I mean, for example, 1 times 1 is the same as 1 divided by 1. So you just shouldn't, if you're going to plug in numbers to test things like even and odd and modulo operator, steer clear of 0 and 1 and 2 and use some different numbers. So when A and B are both even, so let's say, well, let's pick two even numbers. Let's pick 6 and 4. So when we take 6 and 4 and we plug them in here, 6 divided by 4 under integer division, that's equal to 1. And loop count is incremented by 1. Well, this loop is only going to run one time. Okay, so the first loop runs once, but the second loop, well, I starts as 0 and A is 6, so that loop will run one time. Loop count will be incremented and become 1. I has the value of 4 added to it. Then it will check, is 4 less than 6? Yes, it is, so loop count is incremented again. That means this, if both of these are even, if A is 6 and B is 4, then this loop will run once and this loop here will run twice, and the loop count will be a different value in each of them. So that's not what we're looking for. That rules this one out. And when they're both odd, so again, just pick a couple of odd numbers. Again, steering clear of 1. We want to use 1. So when they are both odd, 5 divided by 3 is 1. So again, we would have a 1 in here. And here we would start from 0. And then we would add, then the loop will run, and then the loop count will increment. Then we add 3 onto 0, and then loop count will increment, and that will become 2. So again, in the case where we have these two odd numbers, 5 and 3, loop count is bigger in the second loop than it is in the first loop. So that one is not the correct answer. Next question, when A is even and B is odd. This one is also wrong, and at this point you can probably get, if you work through the first two questions, you can probably get a feel for what is happening here. So let's pick, I don't know, let's say 8 and 4. Oh, in fact, even and odd, so let's say pick 8 and 5. And again, it's pretty easy to see that this loop, if we do 8 divided by 5, that's going to give us 1 under integer division. So this will only run one time. But here, this will run from I equals 0 to I equals 5. So this will again run twice. So that one is incorrect. A modulo B is equal to 0. Well, let's pick some numbers where A modulo B is equal to 0. Let's pick 8 and 4. Okay, so here, this will run in the first loop. 8 divided by 4 is going to give us 2 under integer division. That means this loop will run twice, and loop count will be equal to 2. In this loop, we will start from 0, and loop count will increment, and then I will increment by 4. And then is 4 less than 8? Yes, it is. Loop count will increment and become 2, and then we will add 4 onto I. I now becomes 8. Is 8 less than 8? No, it isn't. So we don't increment loop again, and loop count again, and loop count will be 2. Here, they actually are both the same, so that looks okay. And then we should go on and test the next one. A modulo B is equal to 1. Well, again, pick some numbers where A modulo B is equal to 1. Now, let's say, instead of 8 and 4, how about 9 and 4? So 9 modulo 4, well, that's equal to 2 under int division. Sorry, 9 divided by 4, that's going to be equal to 2 under int division. So this loop would run twice, but note now, this loop will run 3 times because it will run when I is equal to 0. You increment by 4, then I will become 4, and this conditional is still true. Then I will become 8, and 8 is less than 9, so this conditional is true. So under the situation where you have 9 modulo 4, the first loop will increment twice, and the second loop will increment 3 times. So we can rule that one out. So we were able, just by plugging in some numbers, we were able to prove that 4 of these were wrong. That left us with the only sensible correct answer of D.